Hello, hello. Welcome once again to another edition of Quoth Raven, Lewis Bright Raven. I'm your host, Lewis Bright Raven. It's Friday, May 16th. You know what that means. It's time for movie discussion. And just now coming in is...
Hello.
the Blue Canoe.
Right? It's Friday movie discussion.
He likes his toys.
I do like them, yes.
So anyway, our discussion tonight is going to be the Disney Marvel short film. I guess we call it a short film. It wasn't even an hour long.
Right.
Werewolf by Night. It took over 2 hours to watch because my Disney Plus or whatever it was I was watching it on kept putting an advertisement every 5 minutes.
Like, gotta love Disney Plus, right?
Like, what the? Anyway.
Might have to upgrade that.
Yeah, we got to go ahead and see what we got here, though, because there's always fun to talk about. Werewolf by Night, 2022, directed by Michael Giacchino, teleplay by Heather Quinn and Peter Cameron, story by Heather Quinn, executive producers Kevin Feige, Stephen Broussard, Luis D'Esposito, Victoria Alonso, and Brad Winderbaum, producer Leanne Stonebreaker, starring Gael Garcia Bernal, Laura Donnelly, Harriet Sansom Harris, Kirk R. Thatcher, Eugenie Bondurant, Leonardo Nam, Daniel J. Watts, Carrie Jones, Rick Wasserman, and Richard Dixon. Production company is Marvel Studios, released October 7th, 2022, with a runtime of less than an hour, only 53 minutes as far as the story itself was going.
I could just hear the conversations. Yeah, that new producer Leanne, she's a real stonebreaker. Don't you mean ballbreaker? No, I mean stonebreaker.
Okay. I'll let you read what it's about.
All right. Following the death of Ulysses Bloodstone, 5 experienced monster hunters, including Jack Russell, are summoned by Ulysses' widow, Verussa, to Bloodstone Manor, where they are instructed to participate in a competitive hunt to determine their new leader, who will wield the powerful Bloodstone. Ulysses' estranged daughter, Elsa, who arrived to compete for the Bloodstone despite Verussa's warning against her doing so. The hunt begins in a large maze on the grounds of the manor with a captured monster that has been implanted with the Bloodstone as the hunter's quarry. Following a brief encounter with Elsa, Russell finds the monster, Ted. Psst. Oh, that's your line, right?
Yeah. Psst. It's man thing.
Ted, yeah, a friend that Russell was searching for and intended to rescue, while Elsa fights and kills one of the other hunters. Russell leaves Ted to carry out his escape plan and once again stumbles upon Elsa while she is hiding in a mausoleum. The two agree to work together to free Ted and obtain the Bloodstone for Elsa. Ted kills another one of the hunters, and Russell destroys the outer wall of the maze so they can escape.
Monster fan was here, but now he seems to be missing. I don't know. Okay.
Ted flees into the forest after Elsa removes the Bloodstone from him. However, the Bloodstone reacts violently to Russell's touch, indicating that he is also a monster, as Verussa and the remaining hunters arrive. Verussa captures Russell and Elsa, places them in a cage, and uses the Bloodstone to trigger Russell's transformation into his werewolf form. Instead of killing Elsa as Verussa intended, the werewolf escapes the cage and slaughters Verussa's guards, but Verussa subdues him using the Bloodstone. Elsa also escapes, kills the 2 remaining hunters, and stops Verussa from killing the werewolf. As she attempts to approach him, the werewolf attacks Elsa but spares her upon recognizing her and leaves the manor. A furious Verussa tries to shoot Elsa, but is incinerated by Ted, who then leaves to find Russell, while Elsa takes possession of the manor and the Bloodstone. The next day, Russell awakens in the forest in his human form, while with Ted watching over him, and is pleased to learn that Elsa is safe.
This whole film was a whole lot better than it had any right to be. While it completely ignores the comics history and comes up with its own backstory. Because Jack Russell's family history is not even mentioned. In the comics, his family is mafioso, and part of the reason he's cursed as a werewolf is due to his father's connections to that, if I remember correctly. So he's not really much of a monster hunter, is dealing with being a werewolf himself in the comics, but here they just did whatever they were going to do. The whole Bloodstone thing and bringing in Elsa, who is not the bombastic strawberry blonde monster hunter that Buffy and Lara Croft wish they were, was as with the portrayal of the character. The actress did a nice job of the character, but it just didn't quite feel like Elsa Bloodstone to me. Adding Man-Thing to the mix, that was like the feature thing to the whole thing. Doing everything that they did as well as they did into the storytelling with that character was really what made the watching it worth the time. One thing I didn't really like was how it was all black and white until the last few minutes of the movie. I kind of get why it was done this way, but to me, either do it all in black and white or all in color. By showing us color in the end, it just made me wish they'd done the whole thing in color. You know?
Yep, I completely agree.
But that being said, to have pulled all this off by a first-time director, I got to give the guy props. I got to give him a bravo. For a first-time director, for this kind of level. I mean, he had done, Super 8s when he was a kid and stuff, but this was like his first actual movie.
Right.
It's actually pretty darn good. While Gael Garcia Bernal as Jack would not have been my choice for the role, for a multitude of reasons, I do have to say he carries a role he is given modestly well. That being said, the character he's given isn't exactly Jack Russell anyway.
Right.
I do happen to feel that the stars of the show were Laurel Donnelly as Elsa Bloodstone and Carrie Jones in the special effect team for Ted Man-Thing. The rest of the cast was just a little bit too campy in one note for me, particularly and most especially Harriet Sansom Harris as Verussa. I could not get into that character at all as a lead villain, shall we say. That having been said, the film was well done, and I was mostly just annoyed with all the ads. Like I said, it's like every 5 minutes, at least let me watch 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the show before you inundate me with commercials.
Right.
But that was like my major complaint. That was like taking forever because of commercials.
Right.
Go ahead.
It was a slow burn for about 55 minutes. Nowhere near enough of the werewolf. I didn't care for Bernal as Jack Russell since he looked nothing of the part and didn't really act the part either. It was a very weird take for Jack Russell, I guess, in my opinion. Rest of the cast was pretty good. The Man-Thing, loved the Man-Thing. That made the movie. Just made the whole thing. The most important character they had in terms of special effects and whatnot. I swear they had double the time for Man-Thing than they did for the wolf. Right? Yeah, there was not enough werewolf in this movie, at all. And I get why they did black and white because, of course, they were going for that old time, Universal Pictures feel.
To some extent, I think they were also trying to make it feel timeless.
I can see that. Yeah, I can see that.
Whereas colors would have given it more, I don't know. The other thing was I was trying to figure out what in the world was on his face. The weird glyphs all over around his eyes and down his cheeks and stuff on Jack's face.
I have no idea what that was. I couldn't tell you.
I was just like, is he like, why are they there? Are they there to prevent him from transforming into the wolf around them? Is it so that it's like a protection gift so they don't see him as what he's looking like? It's like they see something else.
I'm thinking protection glyphs.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, it's like, but explain that, please.
Right, yeah.
It's like, because it's just like, what in the world is that supposed to be?
Yeah, I
You
think it
know?
was warding glyphs or something like that.
Yeah, but it just, that was one thing I didn't care for because it was like, I didn't mind the acting, but it was like, okay, there's like a whole bunch of backstory between him and Man Thing, and okay, I've helped you out, you helped me out. No, I was like, yeah, this is for 55 minutes. You got a lot of stuff that you could have done. And probably could have done their whole other half hour of the movie and really done some really good stuff.
I agree. Well, I'm hoping for Monster Fan says hoping that this should be the first of the Marvel Dark Universe series. Well, I'm hoping this Halloween they have some more. So
Unfortunately, I know that they're supposedly not doing a sequel to this. They've already put it away to this one.
Oh wow, okay.
Because I guess they're going to do something else with Man Thing, but I don't know what they're going to do with the other characters. And I'm like, I mean, now that Elsa has the Bloodstone, what is that going to do to her?
True.
And I'm just thinking, if she's hunting vampires and werewolves and monsters and stuff, I mean, come on, let's just have some fun,
Well, I'm wondering if they're gonna, when they eventually do bring out Blade, if she's going to be part of that universe, like part of that.
Yeah, you gotta wonder what they're gonna come up with, but yeah, I don't know. He says he wants Living Mummy and Monster of Frankenstein, and I mean, wow, I wouldn't hold my breath. Unfortunately, I just don't see it.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do this Halloween. I know they're going to come out with something good, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do. Like, heck, they could even do like some sort of like Monster Squad, or something like that. Like DC has has theirs. So
yeah, Creature Commandos, right?
Yeah, Creature Commandos. So
anyway, we both gave this film a 3.5. Like I said, we could probably give it more if it just had a little bit more of the werewolf in it. If they just kept it either black and white or color, one or the other. Not that that little bit of tail end is like, like, okay, now she's got the bloodstone in her hand, and now it's just going to make her turn to color, and it's like, what was that about? I just
yeah, that's not one of the Bloodstone's powers, as far as I know. Of course, they're probably going to have like the Bloodstone be like one of the Infinity Stones or something like that.
Yeah, well, who knows? Let's see. He asked if it's been released in hard media. I don't think it has, but I will check.
It's been out for well over a year, so you'd think it would be, but
yeah. Let me see. Let's just call it TV special. See, so there's that. And it aired in 2022. So I'm trying to think. I don't remember seeing anything close to that being okay. They gave a presentation of Werewolf by Night on YouTube for Marvel Entertainment, supposedly in color.
Oh, really? I did not know that.
So there was a color version as well. So who knows?
Okay, that's cool.
Let me see. Werewolf by Night DVD. Only bootlegs from what I can see. Yeah, because it's like anything from Marvel, Disney Plus, they don't really want to like put any physical media out, period.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's what I'm finding. So that could be what's going on. Because I mean, I still haven't seen Falcon or Winter Soldier stuff. I still haven't seen any. I think there was a WandaVision one that was released.
Oh, on physical media?
Yeah, but I mean, it's like they really want you to subscribe to Disney Plus or,
So they can throw more commercials at you.
Yeah. It's not even commercials for their stuff. That's what gets you annoyed.
But it's revenue.
Yeah. I guess.
Give me more money.
Now, what have I told you?
Gosh, Mickey, I don't know. Yep, subscriptions for streaming. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But it's something else, though. I mean, I'd like to see a Bloodstone series with Donnelly in the role.
That would be incredibly cool.
But I'd like her hair to like go from the dark brunette that she had in this to like the Bloodstone turns her hair to the red.
That would be cool. That would be very cool.
It doesn't have to be like the light strawberry blonde of the comic book. It can be like a dark auburn red.
Right.
Be more closer to the blood. That would make more sense for film.
I just have a feeling that they are going to do something with the Bloodstone, Ghost Rider, maybe when they fully bring Morbius into the fold and all that stuff. I think they're gonna do something with all of that.
If they have a sequel, Werewolf by Night should fight Man-Wolf. I don't know about that. I mean, Man-Wolf's a completely different thing.
Is Werewolf Marvel, right? Werewolf is Marvel, right?
Werewolf.
Yeah, Werewolf.
I don't think so.
I think it's Werewolf. Let me look that up.
What are you talking about? It's
there was an animated feature that had called Werewolf. WAR Wolf.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's part of the Howling Commandos.
Yes.
Okay. That's something I don't ever really watch. But I probably should have, I guess. I don't know.
It was decent.
But no, I'm more of a Man-Wolf. I was thinking do a actual no, it's Man-Wolf. And but Man-Wolf, I would do a completely separate thing where he's not even associated with any of the monsters, since he's since his is from the stone from the Spider-Man.
Astronaut son. Oh yeah.
He's the astronaut son of J. Jonah Jameson.
Right.
Yeah, and he brought the jewel from the moon that changes him, and it's right here in his neck. That's why I keep pointing myself. But he has this other world that he visits in his comic, completely different, separate world. And I would do that with him in that fantasy world more than anything else.
So if Werewolf by Night bit Man-Thing, would Man-Thing become Werewolf by Man-Thing Night?
No.
Werewolf Man-Thing by Night?
No.
Or a giant-sized Werewolf Man-Thing by Night? Come on, who wouldn't pay to see a giant-sized werewolf Man-Thing?
I would not.
You would not? Okay. Yeah, those were fun comics. They absolutely were a monster fan.
I would sit there and say most likely thing I would see is that they'd have Werewolf by Night fight Moon Knight, since they did that in the comics.
They did, yes.
And it would seem to me that would make sense that those two would go off fighting each other. But,
That's if they do anything else with Moon Knight.
yeah. So there's another thing,
That's the crappy thing about a lot of these limited series by Disney is that they seem to like just be like one shots. They have their series, they don't do anything else with them.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I don't see. I mean, it seems to me that no matter what it is that they do at Marvel with these things, you hear nothing but bitch, bitch. And I'm sorry, but I'm not saying I have not really seen a bad Disney Plus Marvel TV show. I just haven't.
Well, have you watched Iron Fist?
Oh, I have not yet. That's all. I'm just saying that and Iron Fist is not a Disney Plus show. It was a Netflix show.
That's true. That's very true.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, you're right.
I said Disney Plus. Damn it.
Damn it. No, there really hasn't been a bad Disney Plus show that I can think of.
No, as far as Marvel. Now, of course, people's mileage may vary, but the thing is, if the people online constantly just bitch and bicker and complain, no one's going to watch this stuff, anymore,
That's true.
And so they're kind of like, the more people complain, it's like, okay, well then if you don't like that, we'll just stop making that and we'll try something else. And then,
Mm-hmm. Yep. And Monster Fan, Echo was much better than it had a right to be. In my opinion.
I haven't seen that one yet either. But I don't know if that goes Disney Plus though, is it?
Yeah, that's Disney Plus. Wait, okay. No, that is Netflix, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's still Netflix. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Let me look up real quick.
Because it's part of that universe. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't necessarily matter. I mean, because something if it aired after the let's see, Marvel Rivals. Yeah, see, Marvel Iron Fist just says Marvel Iron Fist, whereas the Disney Plus stuff has Disney Plus right on it.
Right.
So, I'm sitting here looking at this and I'm like, yeah, it's Hawkeye, Disney Plus, Ms. Marvel.
Oh, Echo was Disney Plus. Okay. I couldn't remember because I know it had Kingpin in it. So.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean much. Oh, Secret Invasion was probably bad too. I don't know. I heard a lot of that about
I wasn't a fan of that one. Nope. Sorry, Super Skrull.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Echo was Disney. Okay. Well, like I said, I'm not saying that there weren't any. I'm just saying I hadn't seen any because I haven't watched hardly any of these yet.
Right. Right.
This is all new to me.
Well, have you seen the pure, unadulterated hatred Ironheart's getting?
Yes. And
before it even comes out.
Yeah. And the actress, I guess, who's playing her is basically going on the screen and saying, "Yeah, well, fuck you. Who cares?"
Good for her. Good for her. That's good.
It's like, if you don't like it, tough. Hasn't come out yet. What the hell you bitching about? Type thing.
Exactly. Because I want Tony Stark back.
I don't care. That's about it, though. I mean, it's all I want. What you already had. Well, you already had that. It's over. Move on. Black Girl Magic is from Secret Invasion. I have no idea what that is, but okay. But
yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah. He was saying there has been rumor that Moon Knight 2 was canceled. But
Well, Moon Knight was so freaking weird. Like, it was just a bizarre show.
Basically, what they're doing is, no, there's no season 2, but there is plans to bring the character back into the MCU at some point.
Okay, well, that's cool.
So, it's like, it seems like all of them, all the Disney Plus series are that way. We're going to do one season, however long it is, and then we'll see what we do with the future after that,
Right.
So, I mean, when you have some of these actors, though, that are playing these roles, I mean, how much money do you have to pay for all this shit?
Well, I mean, it's widely well known that Jeremy Renner was offered half of what he was offered for the first episode, series of Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's like, nope.
Yeah. Why? Because I got run over by a truck or something, or whatever it is. He got hurt. I know that, but
yeah, he almost died.
Yeah. So I mean, but regardless, that doesn't mean much of anything. I mean,
no, because she's going to be an integral part of the next phase of Marvel. So no, it's not just checkbox. They're definitely going to do something with her, right? So
yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know where that's. Let's see. It doesn't say when it's coming out, but yeah.
Who? Ironheart?
Oh, it's coming out in June.
Yeah, June. Yeah,
June 24th. Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me,
I'm gonna watch it.
Well, I'm probably not that interested personally because I was never a fan of the character. It's kind of like, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. It's
I'm gonna watch it because I like my comic book movies.
Yeah. Money is scarce right now at Marvel. Money is scarce everywhere right now in the industries, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, from everything I hear, that Disney holds its purse strings pretty tight.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but yeah, June 24th is when the Ironheart thing comes out. I haven't even looked at the stuff from like years ago yet, so I'm not even. It's completely off my.
What have you gotten to Wakanda Forever?
I've seen that, but
okay.
I'm talking about all these TV shows.
No, I'm saying as far as knowing whether you're gonna like Ironheart.
That character doesn't mean anything to me.
Okay.
Okay. First off, I think the character sucks. Period. Okay. Brian Bendis did a shitty ass job creating that character. If I've been running the character, she would have living nanotech inside of her that makes her the fucking armor.
Which you had mentioned that to me before. Yes, I think that's a damn good idea.
Whereas, that would be, interesting. And instead of her just retrofitting and, I'm going to make a new armor that's better than Tony's, now just do something cool that makes the character unique, But that's just.
Yeah, they are taking kind of a step back with the armor.
Mm-hmm.
Because, Tony was fully into nanotech,
yeah.
and she's still, retrofitting his old armor.
Yeah. So although they are spending huge sums of money for all the actors in it, well, whatever. New Avengers, whatever Avengers. All
not one of Bendis's better moments.
No. Nothing of Bendis's better moments come from anything he's ever done for Marvel. I'm sorry. Yeah, but
Not a Bendis fan.
I brought Bendis into this damn industry.
I know you did.
It's just, there's a Bendis that can really write, and then there's the Bendis who's recycling his comic book and DVD collection. Which one does he do when he works for Marvel? He recycles his comic book and DVD collection.
I imagine you as like, come on over here, boy. You got to get your spankings. Like, you best be behaving right now.
No, it's not that. I would probably cull about a third of his dialogue down out of the scripts, though.
Right.
And a few other things, but it's not that he's not talented or anything like that. It's just
No.
When you have editors that just don't know how to edit anymore.
Very true.
So, anyway, again, we gave Werewolf by Night a 3.5 out of 5. Our favorite part of the film was, of course, Ted. Ted
Man-Thing.
Yes, Ted Salas.
And the burning.
Yes, that was, well, anything that knows fear burns at the touch of the man thing. But it was like, I was kind of like wondering, what happens if someone is fearless? I mean,
right.
I mean, you'd think that you'd have to be pretty brave to be a monster hunter of some kind. I mean,
Well, and what happens if Ted just happens to be picking his snout and something freaks him out and he gets scared? Is he like, oh, son of a...
No.
Oh, come here. We know what happens when something gets afraid. This thing shows up. He goes, who needs the man thing? I'm here now.
Right. Whoever knows hunger burns at the claws of midnight.
Yeah. He always does that. But
yeah, very nice job in the special effects department. Very nice.
Oh, yeah. There's a whole... Here's what's really dumb. There's a movie extra about the guy who directed the film, who is actually a really good musical composer. He did most of the music for Incredibles. He's got like 4 Emmys and 2 Oscars for his musical composition for film.
Okay.
The guy who directed this film. This is his first directorial debut. And I was like, okay, that's cool. But they had to go do...
Sorry. Hey! It's enough. Sorry. Someone walked by. All right. I'm going to...
Go ahead and mute. I'll mute you for a second.
No.
Yeah, go ahead, mute.
Yeah. Woo, that was a little bit loud. But as I was saying, this extra piece of film, like another documentary, was actually longer than the film. Like, I do not need to see. I don't care about his parents. What his parents think of him being directing his first film. I don't need to see his cheesy Super 8 films from the 80s. But is it okay to unmute you, or are they still going?
For now.
Okay.
Yeah, they stopped for now. So
Yeah. But Werewolf just showed up.
Right.
What was that about?
There's somebody outside, so Oliver doesn't like visitors.
Oh dear.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right.
Who showed up that was a visitor?
I'm not sure. There's somebody out there walking by, probably just saying hi. Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah. But it's crazy. But so, which would you rather see? A continuation of the Adventures of Man-Thing, and maybe have the Werewolf by Night as a sidekick. Every once in a while, they part their ways, but he comes in every once in a while as a guest, and kind of like do the Man-Thing like the old Hulk series, maybe.
Oh, no, that's not a bad idea. Because I really enjoyed the Man-Thing movie.
Mm-hmm.
Remember the older Man-Thing movie? Mm-hmm. I thought they did a dang good job with that. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge fan of the character. I like what they've done with them so far. I think that would be fantastic. Yeah. I'm not aware. Did Man-Thing like transform back into Ted Sallis like in the comics? Okay, so it wouldn't be.
But I'm saying moving around like the Incredible Hulk. I'm talking about just having to constantly be on the move to another place.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that would kind of defeat the purpose of like him guarding the nexus of all realities.
Not necessarily, because the nexus can always move with him.
Okay, I did not know that.
I mean, if you're going to have the nexus be right there in the Everglades, then no. But since they don't follow anything else with the books, they don't need to do that. They don't want to.
Yeah, they have the nexus of all reality in Florida, and you're going to have Florida Man going, "Ooh, I wonder what this is." Clink.
No, you don't want the nexus of all realities anywhere near Trump land, which is in Florida.
Yes, it is.
So we should probably move that.
Yeah, exactly.
In fact, that would be perfect. That would be perfect. The whole story would be like he has to like escape, take the nexus, and have it escape the thing before Trump finds it to like control the world.
Oh God, yeah. I'm just gonna take it and I'm gonna put it right in here for now.
Yeah, I mean that would be like the perfect thing, and then all the Republicans would have a conniption pit.
Or they just have like the Bloodstone be like the nexus of all realities, like the conduit.
Yeah. Well, then that would have been like kind of the point with him having it on him. They took it out of him, so I don't know. But anyway, it would be cool to see something like that. But
yeah, there's a lot of avenues they could go.
Yeah. They ought to put Benedict Bumbersnatch or whatever his name is.
Benedict Dumbersnatch. Dumbersnatch.
I know it's Benedict. I just can't remember his last name.
Cumberpatch. Yes.
Cumberman.
Johnny, hey, we're going to go have some Cumberpatches tonight.
Yeah.
Would you care for a Cumberpatch? They're freshly out of the oven.
Yeah. A Cumberpatch. What is that? A piece of cucumber that's been.
Yeah, I have no idea what a Cumberpatch is.
Yeah, but anyway. But I was saying it really do Doctor Strange maybe there, and of course they're still waiting to do the Doctor Strange half with what's her name is Clea.
Yep.
So I mean, hard to see what they're going to come up with, but
yeah, who knows?
Yeah. Our movie next week, because Monster Fans internet's about ready to go out, is Batman Ninja versus the Yakuza League. And what in tarnation is a Yakuza League? They play ninja sports like shuriken throwing, like axe throwing? And aren't the Justice League supposed to be the good guys? Since when was the Yakuza ever the good guys? All the puppies are sitting there going, huh? This
Oh.
doesn't make sense. So we'll have to tune in next week to find out what's going on. So
Should be a fun watch.
yeah. That'll be next week. And then this weekend, tomorrow and Sunday both, I'll be drawing something. Exactly what time we haven't figured out yet, but it'll be on sometime tomorrow. And what I'll be drawing is going to be a surprise. We'll have to wait and see. So if you have contact information or ask us about other movies or other comics or stuff like that of pop culture nature, Lewis.BrightRaven at Facebook, at LewisBrightRave2 on the Muskrat Channel X. You can see my artwork at deviantart.com/BrightRaven. You can see Chris's at fatboy73.com or deviantart.com/fatboy73. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
We're watching Quoth Raven Lewis Bright Raven exclusively on YouTube. If you have questions, comments, email me at quothravenlbr72@gmail.com. If you don't hear from me back, try lewisbrightraven@yahoo.com. I think that I'll call it. Where do you find these obscurities? Oh, well.
In the beautiful garbage dump that is Tubi.
Well, there's Tubi, and then there's Disney Plus, and then what was the other one? Plex?
Plex, yep.
Plex, yeah. So those are like the three we're using right now, but we'll see if we can find more on Tubi for you in the future. Okay? So, yeah. We'll see you next time. Quoth the Raven. Nevermore.
Nevermore.